Hello, this is Novix IT, and today we're going to prepare Active Directory in Azure Virtual Machines. So we're going to start by creating our own resource group. So you can click here if you have it available, otherwise you can just search it in the search bar. Put resource groups. And then you click create. So we're going to name ours Active Directory Lab. I'm going to choose East US2 for my region. You can choose whichever region you like. Just make sure to keep it consistent and whichever what we create. Click review and create, then click create. Then our resource group is created. So let's go back to the home page. I just gonna check here and see if I can see it. Sometimes it takes a little time, just to make sure. There it is. So go back to the home. Then we're gonna create a virtual network. So you can use the search engine. Virtual networks. Click the create virtual network. So the resource group that we created is already selected, so that's fine. For the virtual network name, we're going to call ours, for simplicity's sake, also Active Directory, since that's the purpose of the video. Directory dash VNet. And then again, you use ECU2 or use the one used before. Then review create. And then click create. So yeah, so once you have this set up, you're going to be able to explore a lot of features within Active Directory because there's a lot of features there. So this would be kind of good to practice on your own, but we're in the beginning steps. So now we're going to go back. So now we're going to create our virtual machine. Alright. Okay, so you can use search engine, but I'm already here. Then you can click create virtual machine. Sometimes it takes some time. Something's going on. Let me go back. Virtual machine. Click create. There we go. Okay. So resource group, we're going to go Active Directory Lab. For virtual machining, we're just going to call ours, DC1. DC1 stands for domain controller, and domain controllers usually are the ones that host Active Directory, so that's an appropriate name. And choose your region. I'm going to choose ECUS2. For image, since this is a domain controller, you want to go with Windows Server 2022 right here. For size, 2 vCPUs, 8 gigabytes is good. You could also go with 4 vCPUs. Either one's fine. Then username, I'm gonna go NX user. And then I'm gonna go, you can use whatever password you want, but I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna put it in a notepad right here. So this is DC1 virtual machine. So username, NX user, password, I'm gonna go Novix lab 123, copy it and paste it. You just make sure you remember your password, and then at the bottom you're gonna check licensing and check the box. So you can also check this one too. Then we're gonna go next, next again. Yeah, we're just double checking the networking tab right here that the virtual network that we created is already selected. It's already selected, so that's good. So then we're gonna go to review create. Then create. So this is going to take a bit of time to create. So if you're following along, you're probably waiting as well. Otherwise, you can also just skip forward in the video if yours is already done. So our virtual machine is complete. So let's go back to home. Going to go to our virtual machine. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to set the domain controller's NIC private IP address to be static. So you'll see what I mean in a moment. So we're going to click on the virtual machine we just created, so DC1. Expand this. Then we already have networking right here, and go network settings right here. So this is the NIC, the network interface card right here. So ours is kind of virtual in this case, but we're going to click right here. Then we're going to click IP config 1 down here. So you see its allocation is dynamic. We're going to change it to static. And then we're going to click save. So yeah, it's still updating. So it's changed. So we're gonna go back to home, go to our virtual machine. So now we're gonna log in. So since I'm on Windows, I'm gonna go remote desktop connection. If you're using a Mac, you would have to download Microsoft Remote Desktop, and then you would log in. So you have to get the public IP address, copy it, and paste, connect. So mine is username, NX user, and my password should be copied just in case. Paste, and then OK, yes. So the reason we're logging in right now is that we're trying to disable Windows Firewall for testing connectivity, because yeah, soon we're gonna create another virtual machine. You'll see. Yeah, and it usually takes a little bit of while to log in the first time. So you might want to skip recording the video if you're already there, but if you're waiting long, then you probably want to wait long too. Oh, that was pretty fast. Okay. Alright then. So we're gonna open the window box. So if you have like, hold on, let's click edit this. Yeah, we don't need this at the moment. So I'm just gonna click out of it. Okay. So if you have like Windows, you probably put like there's like a window key that looks like the window symbol, and then R, so window R, and you get the run box. If it's a Mac, it's probably like another command. You probably know what it is. Then the WF dot MSC and enter. And expand mine real quick. Okay, so you're gonna locate Window Defender's Firewall Properties right here. And click it. Then we're gonna turn off. So the firewall state, we're gonna turn that off. Then the private profile right here, click on that. Then we're gonna turn the firewall state off here. Then public profile, we're gonna turn the firewall state off here as well. Then we're gonna click apply, and then okay. Now I'll just minimize this for now. So now we're gonna set up a client virtual machine in our Azure. Since we already have a domain controller that kind of hosts Active Directory, and if you don't already know, like Active Directory kind of controls multiple user accounts, or in this case multiple client accounts. So it makes sense to, like, you're gonna work with Active Directory, you're gonna need a client. In this case, we're gonna need a client virtual machine. So now we're gonna go to so as you can see, we're already in the virtual machine section in Azure portal. So now we're gonna click create tab right here, and then virtual machine. So resource group, select the same virtual machine. I'm just gonna call it the same as the other one. It's username, so NX user. Oh no, the virtual machine name. My bad. Let's just call this client 1, because that's would make it pair nicely with DC1. So client 1. I'm gonna choose ECUs2. You can choose whichever one you want to choose. That was the same before. For image, since this is a client, you want to go with Windows 10 Pro. It's very important that you choose this one and you want to avoid clicking on 11 Pro. Otherwise, the feature it's just not gonna work. So just click here, and then go down. Size 2 CPUs is good option with 8 gigabytes. Down here, now we're gonna go with user account. So we're gonna go NX user, and then I'm gonna put it in my notepad, but it's basically essentially gonna be the same. VM. So I'm gonna copy the password and paste it. Then yeah, continuing, and check the licensing box. And go next and next. So we're at the networking tab right here, and we're just checking that the virtual network is selected on Active Directory VNet, the one we created in the beginning. VNet's fine, so now keep going to review create. And then we're going to click create. So this might take a while. So if you're waiting along, you probably then you don't have to do anything. You just wait with the video. Otherwise, if your virtual machine's already created, you can skip a little ahead until to the point where we finished ours, or I guess my virtual machine. So our virtual machine is complete. So I'm going to go to home, go to virtual machines, and there you go. They're both there. So what we're going to do next is we're going to set the client one's DNS settings to DC one's private IP address. So first we have to go to DC1 right here, and we're going to copy the private IP address right here, so it's under networking. We'll copy that, go, you can click here, virtual machines right here, and then we're going to go to client one, the one that we just created, and expand, and then in networking right here, we're going to go to network settings, go to the NIC, that's right here, virtual NIC. And then right here you would see settings, and then you see DNS servers. That's where you want to go. And click on that. Then we're going to click custom. I'm going to paste the private IP address of DC1, and I'm going to save it now. So this should set DC1 settings to, this should set client 1 DNS settings to DC1 private IP address. So this takes a little bit of time to do. Okay, there you go. So now we're going to go to virtual machines right here. Is a little shortcut. And then we're going to select our client 1, and we're going to restart it. Right here, restart. Say yes. And give it some time. If you're waiting, you can wait longer, otherwise you can kind of skip ahead. So there we go. So now we're going to log in to our client 1. So I'm going to open another remote desktop connection. So click that. And now I'm going to copy the public IP address of client 1. So we're going to log in. Paste. Then connect. So username, it's in my notepad. So you get username, so mine's NXuser. Copy the password, paste, okay. Say yes. So I believe when you log into a client 1 that's not a server, it usually takes some time to log in the first time. So if you want, you can kind of skip ahead, like a few minutes ahead. Otherwise, you're probably waiting long. So here we're gonna select no, because we don't need any of these. Click accept. So then here we are. So click no here. Okay, so what we're gonna do next, we're gonna try to ping DC1's private IP address from client 1. So I'm gonna minimize this. Going to DC1. If you already memorized it, that's good. But otherwise, you can just to ensure 100%. So right here, private IP address of DC1. So now go back to the virtual machine, which is right here. Yeah, in case you if you're confused, if you have like 2 virtual machine sessions open, you don't know which one you're on, you can always go to right click here, click system, right here. And right here it says DC client 1 right here. And then so now we're gonna open up PowerShell right here. PowerShell. This is kind of small, so I'm gonna accidentally close it. Okay. PowerShell. Right click here. Go to properties. Font 28. Okay. So this should be pretty good now. Now I'm gonna ping DC1's private IP address. Enter the command. And yeah, the ping looks like it was successful because there was no timeout. So there was like you send a packet, data packet, and then you gotta reply back and forth. So that's pretty good. So while we're on this PowerShell right here, now we're gonna put IP config all, enter the command, and you got a lot of Windows IP configuration, Ethernet adapter, and we just got a lot of information. But what we're looking for specifically among all this, we're looking for DNS servers, and it's 10.0.0.4 as it should. Since if you recall earlier, we were setting client 1, set it to DC1's private IP address, and it's right here. So this is how you double check that you successfully did it. Otherwise, you have to do those steps again. So this should be the end of this lab. So let me just, if you haven't already been doing this, you should, you can log off. So I'm gonna put Command R, log off. If you're continuing the next video, then you don't have to do this. Command R, log off, because you just be continuing the log off. So I'm going back to virtual machines. So it's always best after you're done with a virtual machine session, like especially like in Azure, is to select them and you just want to stop them if you're gonna be using them later. And obviously, if you're done using your virtual machine, you're not gonna use it in the future. You select them and delete them. But you always want to make sure you stop them or delete them to save cost, especially if you're on a paid subscription. So yeah, that should be the end of this video. So till next time.